Yo, you watching TB and J. I'm Tam Bam. I'm your host, and every week I'll give you a little tea from reality TV. I'll give you a little celebrity buzz. And the J is subject to change. The J could be jokes, it could be jealousy, it could be Ray J, even though he didn't hit it first. But we're not gonna worry about that. We're gonna jump right into the show I want to talk about today, which is Love and Hip Hop, where there's very little love and almost no hip hop. So let's go.
I'd like to thank you for coming out to the show. Hey, yeah. Come on, now let's up, higher, up, higher, up, higher, up, higher, up, higher. Now let's go.
Okay, so Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Let's try to take it like scene by scene and just get right in here. So the show started off with Mimi, Don, Benzino, and Stevie J meeting up to talk about, once again, whether or not Stevie J and Jocelyn are married. Now, what I want to know is why a woman, Mimi, who has a 3-year-old daughter and a porno, has the time to focus on whether or not her ex is married. Like, I just think that she should be more concerned with other things. But it's not me. They met up to talk. They presented their proof. And Stevie J's response for not having a marriage certificate on public record was that he's a sovereign. Everyone's face around there looked confused, kind of like mine right now, because no one knows what a sovereign is but Stevie J. But apparently, it prevents you from needing a marriage certificate. That guy is a joke. Mimi came dressed like the Big Bad Wolf. That's just off top. There's no way the meeting could go well when you come dressed like the Big Bad Wolf in Atlanta. Last I heard, Atlanta is a hot place. Okay. Moving right along, next thing we see is Mama D and Erica P meeting up so that they can talk about the fight that occurred at
That's cool, just keep going.
the fight that occurred at Scrappy's birthday party. Well, I won't even call it a fight because Erica P got hit and then she beat the hell out of the tables that were in the club. So they meet up. Right, so Mama D is claiming that she wants to keep order in the castle. I've seen more order in White Castle than in that ratchet castle that they live in. But I digress. What I want to know is why she did the little quotation marks. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when she was talking about how Bambi, the Bambi, lost her baby, she said that she lost the baby that she supposedly wanted dearly. So the word on the street is that people thought that Bambi had an abortion. And here's one thing that you don't do. You don't question a woman losing a child. That's low. That's low even for Mama D. And I mean, it don't get much lower than that. But that was a low blow. I think it's foul. But Erica P couldn't wait. Okay? She couldn't wait to throw in that her and Scrappy are friends. And that she's just, she wants the best for her friend. Now, the last I checked, when my friends come over, I have homies, I have homeboys. When they come over, I don't have on booty shorts and tall socks. You know what I mean? Where I have to excuse myself and have drinks with my guy friends with my ass hanging out. So, this whole friend thing is ridiculous. That meeting was ridiculous. And this castle, Ratchet Castle, is ridiculous. And why does Scrappy need any more friends when he's trying to have a girlfriend? Those don't mix. His understanding of friends seems to be a little off. And who are these chicks signing up to be his friend? Did we see how the last friendship worked out? She got clowned on TV. He messed up her credit. Like, Scrappy is probably not the best male friend to have. He's not the best boyfriend to have, but so be it. Can we just pause for a moment with the fact that Mama D cannot say California? That's not hard. The letters are right there for you. Where the hell is California? I don't know what country that's in, but it's not the U.S. But what else do we expect? Last season, she couldn't spell bitch. You remember the B-I-C-T-H? And in that order, the rest of the meeting was just some silly scrambling of eggs and the friend showing his mom. Let me ask you this. Who shows sex sexting messages to somebody's mama. Like that, I don't understand what goes on in Atlanta, but where I'm from, sexting is something personal, and that is not controlling your bitches. After that, we cut right to the scene of Rashida Kirk and their sons and Rashida's mama taking family pictures for the cover of Sister to Sister magazine. Now, my only thing to say about that scene is, yes, we know Kirk is an idiot. That's a given. Like, it's clear that Kirk is stupid. But I think that it's so wrong that Rashida's mom is disrespectful in public to her husband and nobody says anything. In front of her sons, that's just foul. I think the mom is out of line, but it seems like in Atlanta they have a problem with dealing with their mamas. Okay, next we see Stevie and Jocelyn. You know, they're out to lunch or whatever, and basically she's just letting him know that she met up with Tammy and invited Tammy to the house. Nothing really stands out in this scene except for the delusion that Jocelyn has that she doesn't need a stylist. So we're going to take a second. We're going to have a little collection. We're going to go through some of the looks that Jocelyn has chosen on her own. Okay, so basically the consensus there is, Jocelyn, you do need a stylist. Please, please let somebody help you. At the end of that scene, or at the end of the day, as they love to say on this show, I can't really be mad at Jocelyn because she said two of my favorite words for her to say. Shenanigans and biff kick. She can do no wrong when she says those two words. I don't really know what they are, but they work. After that, we have a little scene with Tammy and Waka sitting in their house on the couch. They're really cute together. It seems like she actually cares about her man, which is kind of rare in the rest of the show. Now, they all could be scripted, but if so, she's acting it out a little bit better than some of the rest. So she's basically just telling him about the same thing, about her little meeting with Jocelyn and how it went and the couple of little shots that Jocelyn took at her. Now, the interesting thing about this scene is that Waka needed subtitles. The producers felt it was necessary for us to get subtitles of the words that he was saying, and only him. The next couple of scenes were really difficult for me to stay awake through because, you know, it's Mimi, and I'm sorry, but she just makes me tired. Yawn, yawn, yawn. But we start off with Mimi and Don meeting up. Finally, Mimi has decided that she's over trying to prove that they're not married. Thank goodness. So she's going to move on. But what they move on to? They move on to Don helping Mimi see her porn tape, her sex tape in a positive light. No. There's no positive light. There's no positive way to see a sex tape with a funny looking dude at that. Like, at least it could have been a sex tape with a fine man. But it's her and Nico. Gross. Look like two boys to me, but that's just my opinion. So that's the basis of their meeting. That was done. That's delusion. And then we move on to the anniversary. It's been 1 year for Nico and Mimi. So he made her breakfast in bed and then proceeds to get back into his slimy, money-hungry character. He suggests that they have a party. They want the party to be hosted or thrown by Don. And Nico suggests that Don gets Benzino to cover the party for his magazine. His magazine that he shares with her ex-husband. Oh, wait, pardon me. Did I say ex-husband? I got confused because he gave her a ring, but just the ex-boyfriend. It seems to me that Nico is jocking Mimi's man, ex-man, just as hard as she is. Moving right along, let's get to this meeting that took place with Mama D, with Bambi, and with Erica P. Now, we start off with Mama D telling them that she wants to hashtag this bullish. I don't know how you hashtag bullish, but we attempted to do it. So here's a few hashtags that we came up for the bullish. How about hashtag the Bambi? How about hashtag damn, damn, damn? personally like to hashtag meds for Mama D. Lord, please help her take her meds. Or hashtag Erica P whoops a table's ass. That's how you hashtag the bullfish. Anyway, she sits them down and she tries to get them to see each other's position. Bambi says Erica P has no position, and Mama D says she might don't, in your opinion. She might don't. That's somebody's mama. Just let that marinate for a minute. So that was enough for Erica P to fly off the handle and flip the table, and once again, she is abusing the furniture. She's like a furniture ninja. This little chick. It's bad enough that she looks funny when she talks. It's like she's scared to open her mouth. She kind of has that 50 Cent thing going on. But on top of that, she is abusive to furniture. As far as I'm concerned, that whole fight was a good waste of peach cobbler. You don't just throw peach cobbler around like that. But let's not slide by without mentioning the shoe. Erica P, on her way out the door, being held by security, made a point to say, pick up my red bottom. Now, let's take a look at this red bottom, because while there may be a lot of red things out there, that shoe was not a Louboutin. Let's take a look. Right here, we see this is Louboutin, real. This, not real. This is fake. Now, I'm a simple girl. Everyone cannot afford all these name brand shoes, and that's fine. I don't own a single pair, but I would rather wear a regular shoe that's cute than to walk around and claim that I'm wearing something that I'm not. Come on, girl, you know better than that. Yet another example that you cannot control your bitches. If you did, your bitches wouldn't be losing fake shoes. After that, we have a brief scene with Jocelyn and her ass and Stevie at Jocelyn's photo shoot. Nothing much to see here, you know, Jocelyn getting real rah-rah, nothing new. But did stand out to me was that now she's even got Stevie J saying, Puerto Rican princess. It's spreading. Don't let it happen to you. Let's move on from them. Okay, so even though I'm a girl, I have an unnatural obsession with asses. I admit it. I admire them and envy them at the same time. So this is what I want to talk about with Jocelyn. I never questioned whether or not her ass was real until this scene. Her ass is shaped like a pea, but she doesn't have big thighs. Now, when you do squats, your legs bulk up. Look at Serena Williams. She has ass, but she has thighs. If you look at Jocelyn, perfect ass, no thigh.
Carly Red.
If you look at Carly Red, not even perfect ass, just funny looking ass, no thighs. Those are ass shots. Ass shots are prevalent. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I call it a good investment, but let's call it what it is. Those asses are not real. Okay, so next we see Rashida in a beautiful studio recording with Kalina and her husband. Now, she was having a little trouble. She wasn't focused, so they had her step out of the booth. When she stepped out, Kalina's husband, his name is Tony, said to her that this is a feel-good song. Let me read you some of the lyrics Rashida was reciting to this feel-good song. And I quote, "Say you love me, but you don't. Why you gotta lie like that? Say you will, but you won't. You can't take that back." Feel-good song. Let's move on. So, basically, she's just having trouble dealing with Kirk, and Kalina is trying to be a good friend, which I admire. I love to see sisters stick together. And then they scrapped the whole thing and decided to plan a trip. They're going to plan a trip to the Dominican Republic. And then they wrapped it up and went out to have lunch. So, we'll see how that Dominican Republic trip works. But let's move on. We see Mama D in Bar 1, which is a nice little plug, a shout out for Peter from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Peter happens to be one of the housewives, so it was his bar. So that's a good look. Anyway, we start off and we see Mama D in the bar, talking at random to the bartender about her palace once again while she waits for Bambi to show up. It was very nice of them to give the bartender a line. The bartender got to say, Mama D, I think your guest is here. Way to show them that you're not just an extra. Good job. So, Bambi shows up and they commence to have a discussion about the fight that took place. Now, this is the second fight. For once, I have a little respect for Bambi. I don't know if it's because she showed him that Compton don't take no mess or, but I like that she stood up, and it ended up being that she don't have time for the drama that comes along with the castle. So, Mama D said, off with her head. She had the guards supposedly send her out of the palace, and they're moving on. So it looks like things are done for Bambi and Scrappy. And finally, the show ends with Jocelyn and Tammy meeting up to finally talk and get, both their sides, get things off their chest. Now, both had some very good points. Tammy really could have gone and talked to Jocelyn or said something right then if she had a problem with it, but it stems back to them at Jocelyn's house with Jocelyn throwing a little shade and saying something about Tammy having a tattoo rather than having a ring. So the two get started, but it doesn't turn out well. They end up, arguing. It didn't get into a full-on fight, but a near fight. But as they walked out, then Tammy was pointing out how everything that Jocelyn has is rented, and her man owns everything that she has. It was nice to see that little New York coming out. We see that Tammy is not one of those Atlanta chicks, so it's going to be good to see these two go at it. I can't wait. Hopefully in the weeks to come, they really get into it, because I want to see Tammy just like go off. I just want to see Tammy go off. I think she's cute, but I want to see that streak come out. But that's pretty much it for Love and Hip Hop. So let's get into some celebrity buzz. Let's start off talking about two outfits that were in the news a lot in the past week. First was Jaden Smith and his all-white Batman costume that he wore to the Kim Ye wedding. Now, my issue is not even with the kid. Jaden is a child. He's a big kid, but he's a kid. So I get self-expression, that's fine. Where I'm lost at is how his parents let him leave to somebody else's wedding wearing a Batman costume, full on face mask, and it was said that some of the guests were complaining that he was running around at the reception. He was swatting glasses off the tables, and there was one elderly lady who said that he kept jumping up behind her and covering her head with his cape. That whole family is bizarre. And I personally would have kicked him out of my wedding. The other outfit is, of course, Rihanna at the CFDA awards that she attended. There's some fashion awards, but basically Rihanna showed up naked. As far as I'm concerned, she was bucket naked. She had a dress on that allegedly had over $200,000 worth of Swarovski crystals on it. And yet none of those crystals could be assembled to cover up her vital parts. Now, everyone was praising the dress. They were praising Rihanna for being in the dress. I personally think Rihanna is a beautiful girl and she has a beautiful body. But it's a body that I don't want to see naked in public. And what's funny to me is that the girl from around the way that has a nice body and a pretty face, when she takes a picture in her swimsuit, you call her a thot. But when Rihanna walks around with her ass hanging out, you say she slayed it. You guys need to knock it off, and Rihanna need to put some clothes on. Okay, V. Stiviano took a little trip to New York, and apparently there was some gentlemen who wanted to take a picture with her. V. Stiviano, if you remember, is the young lady, or the jury's still out on whether or not she was a lady, but the woman that was connected to Donald Sterling, who recently lost ownership of the Clippers. She's the reason that the whole situation went down. She's the mixed girl who allegedly now she has her own little things to say about black people. But She went to New York. A couple guys wanted to take a picture with her, and she refused, and they commenced to assault her. So there's a gentleman, a 40-year-old by the name of Dominic DiOrio, who was arrested for shouting racial epithets. We all know that he obviously called her the N-word. Even when you are only partially black, you're a nigga. But anyway, racial epithets were yelled, and then they hit her in the face. Now, I think she's a joke, but I don't want to see any woman or partial woman or former man who's now a woman get abused. So, shouts out to V. Stiviano. I'm sorry that had to happen to you. And I guess she brought her little happy ass back on home. Now, the final story that we're going to talk about is that Michelle Williams, formerly a Destiny Child, has a new album that's going to be coming out. It's a gospel album. It's called Journey to Freedom, and it's supposed to be released in September. So Michelle is shooting a video in a small town in New Jersey for the first single off of her album. And unlike PoorMichelle.com, her girls showed up to support her, including Solange. So I guess whatever was going on in that elevator is over. But Solange, Beyonce, and Kelly all showed up to support Michelle, and it was supposed to be a secret video that was being shot in the house. Well, the secret got out. Somebody told somebody that told somebody, but within an hour, the entire little small town was out on the lawn in front of the house, and Beyonce had to be escorted out the back door. Now, what Michelle had to say was that she knows that things happen for a reason, and I don't want people to think that I'm pissed, because I'm not. Well, Michelle, I hate to let you know, but they really weren't there for you, so they're not concerned with whether you're pissed or not. They were there for Beyonce. I love Michelle. I want somebody to give her a hug and let her know that she was the extra after the extra. Let it go. They don't care if you're pissed. So that's all the celebrity buzz for the day. This is the first show, so the J I'm going to leave you with today is a joke. Because this is a joke to me. I don't know if you guys have seen this video, but there's a little video that I want to share with you, and I hope that it cracks you up like it cracked me up. And I'll see you next time. Hey, so thank you guys for watching, and tune in every week. I'll be here. I'm sure there will always be ratchetry to keep us entertained, so we'll have plenty to talk about. And hit me up on social media. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinions. Sugar_and_shoes. That's me, Sugar and Shoes, on Instagram, on Twitter, or wherever you want to look. That's where I'm at. See you guys next week.